one practice and one game. I mean,
3 snaps. I think it was not much for sure.
Yeah, I don't know. It's well, I mean, it's kind of interesting when we're talking about this. We could talk about, I will call them the wildlings, all these teams that are in the wild card.
Yeah,
there was a lot of interesting games like that yesterday. Yesterday, Pittsburgh being one of them, they kept their hopes alive. Seattle, I don't know, Lugs, they're out of it, right? At 4-8. They're not.
Well, I think if Kyler Murray and they were to implode for the rest of the season, Seattle might have a shot, but I don't see that happening.
Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway,
they're
though
out.
they're out, they maybe got to play spoilers against San Francisco.
Yeah, they played their best game. Yeah.
We're playing hot.
Yep.
And I'm not saying Russell Wilson's back, but it clearly feels to a degree maybe his hand has gotten better because he played well enough. Their defense made some critical plays. I think the main thing that really hurts 49ers when you think about when they went on that hot streak, one of the main guys who's out yesterday was Debo Samuels. And if you kind of look at how Debo is so critical to their offense, he's essentially been a great wide receiver. But even these last few weeks, particularly last week where they really kind of smashed Minnesota, he acted as like a secondary running back. And just what he adds to them by doing jet sweeps and motions, like not having that element of their running attack allowed Seahawks to really just key on Elijah Mitchell. So it was a very critical game for San Francisco. Another game that I thought was really interesting in that way was because both these are wildlings is Washington, Vegas.
Yes.
And Tyler Heineke, again, like his stats don't always look great, but like in critical situations, like he's been coming up with huge drives.
All he does is win, man. All he does is win.
And
it looks like 4 in a row. It
looks like Antonio Gibson, who obviously had like a shin issue for a big part of the season. After that bye, he's come out and he's been toting the rock at least close to 20 times a game, and like just allowing their team. And obviously, I want to say Rivera put his hands on this defense because they've played a lot better than just the dumpster fire they were before the bye under Jack Del Rio.
Yeah.
So I don't know what they have completely changed, but they have, and it's just a hard break for the Raiders. I mean, they had that huge game against Dallas that they won, and then just for them to tailspin this week at home, it's going to be hard.
Well, as it sits now, the Niners are your 7 seed, Washington 6, Rams at 5, Cowboys are 4 seed, Buccaneers at 3, Packers 2, and there they are, Kyler Murray and the Cardinals at the 1 seed in the NFC. Pretty impressive.
I'm going to go back just for a moment to San Francisco. Yeah. How long can Kyle Shanahan hang on with a losing record? I mean, seriously, I know he's an offensive genius, but they don't have any offense. I mean, help me out here.
Help me out.
Well, their offense for the most part played okay yesterday. You're right. It was not a great. I mean, if you go back to like last week against Minnesota, they smashed Minnesota, and that was one of the best offensive showings from any team this year. But like I said, losing Debo, as weird as it sounds, it is. Even though George Kittle's been playing well, Ayuk's been playing well, Elijah Mitchell. I think Debo's that kind of Jenga piece that you see on teams where I think he does so many things that not anyone else can really do on the team. I think Kittle is that too, but not having him hurt. I mean, they're 6-6. You are right. They only have one winning season the year they went to the Super Bowl. And to be fair to you, looking at the rest of their schedule, they have the Bengals. They're at the Bengals next week. They can win that one. I'm not going to say they will. They should beat Atlanta, so that'll get them to at least 7 wins. At the Titans, who knows what the Titans are at this point? They can win that one. Texans and at Rams. So they can win. I think they can win in at least 3 more games, so that will put them at 9 wins. There's a good chance they win 4, so they should get to at least 10-7.
So you don't think Shanahan's on the hot seat?
I don't think so. I think he will be back another year, regardless if they. I mean, if they flame out, but I looking at this schedule, I see them beating Falcons.
Yeah.
I think they could beat the Titans and Texans. So that's at least 9-6. They could beat Bengals. And again, they beat the Rams 31-10 at home. So I think they can beat the Rams away too. So they could end up going 11-6.
Yeah. I've got go ahead, Lux. Go
talk
ahead.
about more dinosaurs. Tom Brady, man, 4 touchdown passes. I mean, this season, could he get his age in touchdowns? Could he get 44? I think he's at 40 now.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably could get his age or even better. So that was impressive, even though it was against Atlanta. You got to admit.
Everybody's beating Atlanta.
I think Matt Ryan's
Poor Matt
quarterback
Ryan.
rating
Matt Ryan
was 11.2 or something like that. I mean, it was a bad day for him. But I got to give it to Brady. He gets that ball away. They don't get close to it. I mean, he's got a good offensive line to begin with, but man, 1, 2, ball gone. I mean, it's gone. You don't get close to him. But so I think the Bucks, they're right on schedule to go again. You know me, I'm going for that Bucks New England Super Bowl. So I'm still holding out.
You're holding out for that plan.
A biscuit to T-Dog on that one too, you know.
I don't know how
do you know another T-Dog that you make these bets with?
Somewhere in there.
Yeah. But
boy.
I will agree with you. Like just if you watch the highlights of the Brady, it was just, you know, again, he is the quarterback like Nick Saban is like, hey, you're gonna try to stop us from going deep. Fine, I'm just gonna kill you with a bunch of 7 or 8 yard passes.
Textbook.
And I mean, some of his touchdown passes, like the one to Cameron Brate. I mean, just a perfect throw in terms of high pointing it for Cameron Brate to get it where the DB couldn't. Also the first Gronk touchdown. Gronk essentially was running, I'd say like a crossing route, and he just waited for him to get open. He threw it just right in front of Gronk so that Gronk could run through it. And no one was there to touch him for like the last 10 yards. So that's the thing. Like you said, you look at what Roethlisberger has, and again, I know we kind of joke on Roethlisberger. To be fair to Roethlisberger, he is what should be happening at quarterbacks around that age to a degree. Tom Brady is such an anomaly, and that's the thing you got to bow down, at least give respect to Brady that he is playing still at such a high level, maybe even higher than he was when he was 34 years old. Just speaks to, I guess, his work ethic and just also genetics. I think look, I think Vegas has it that he is. So I think we don't have to worry about it. Yeah.
So I think that Drew Brees sits in that Sunday night football set with Tony Dungy and says, dang, I shouldn't have retired. I'd be so good by now. No. He didn't start eating the avocado ice cream and the TB12. The TB12 and
he didn't get involved in it.
Yeah,
so that's his fault.
Got involved too late. All right, yeah.
We got to say congratulations to the Detroit Lions.
Yes, sir.
Come on now.
Yes, sir. They just got Mike Zimmer.
That first win.
Just cost Mike Zimmer his job on that one, in my opinion. Zim, we'll see you. He's out. He's on the hot seat.
I got to give it to it. That last drive, I for the first time, I had some respect for Goff. Mostly, I just look at him and think, this guy's a loser. But that last drive and that last pass was on the money, so you can't. Plus, it was just emotional for like Dan Campbell. He's the most emotional coach I've ever seen. I mean, he was like kissing people on the lips. And
it was
stuff.
like their Super
crazy.
Bowl. Yeah, it was dogs and cats. It was. I tell you what, it was just crazy all over the place. So true.
Speaking of Atlanta, was one of the wildlings that obviously got hurt by Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
Vikings also is one of the wildlings that was. At least with Falcons, you could be like, hey, they lost to the Bucks. Like, again, like what you're saying, J-Boy, what you're saying, Lugs, Vikings have no excuse.
No.
This is a Detroit Lions team that they should have won, and it was impressive. They were even able to come back after essentially putting themselves in such a huge hole. I mean, Detroit scored 20 points in the second quarter.
Yeah.
So they were up 20-6 at half. And Kirk Cousins was and Madsen and mainly Justin Jefferson with a huge game, 182 yards and a touchdown.
A wasted
They were
time, yeah.
able to claw themselves back. And then, to be fair to Lugs, credit to Jared Goff, but you watch that defense on that last drive.
What were they doing?
They were playing prevent defense. But you only play prevent defense when you're up by multiple scores and you're just trying to milk the clock. Like, you can lose this game.
That's what I'm saying. Zimmer's on the hot seat. Bye-bye, Mikey.
And then if you go back to the specific
defensive
play
genius
that won, the Amon-Ra St. Brown, there were guys when the ball was snapped, they ran into the end zone like 4 or 5 yards into the end zone, where obviously St. Brown is just going to be at the lip of the end zone and just fall in. It's like, why aren't we guarding the mouth of the end zone? It's like, what are we doing?
Yeah, right now the Vikings are on the outside looking in at currently sitting at number 9 in the wild card or playoff picture. So out of the picture.
Yeah.
Not happening.
But now on the flip side of that coin, where the team that is a wildling that took on a team they should have beat, and you know what? They did it. We're talking about the Indianapolis Colts. The Indianapolis Colts, they did what a team should do against a bad team, which Minnesota should have done against the Lions. They went in. They're like, Jonathan Taylor, we're going to give you 32 carries, give us 143 yards, 2 touchdowns. Carson Wentz, just don't make a stupid interception or fumble, and we're going to crush them. And that's what happened. So congratulations to the coaching staff and the personnel on that team. They did what they're supposed to do.
They got a shot. They're sitting at number 9. They're number 9 in the playoff run, so they're out of the picture right now, but they're close. The Colts are. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, well, another team that I never know week to week what they're going to do is Cincinnati Bengals.
Right.
I mean, you know, they lost to the Browns, what was it, 41 to maybe 22. And then yesterday, Justin Herbert just took them apart. It was crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, hell, he even caught a touchdown. That's one of those where you're just got a team so cowed that you just go, hey, let me score one.
Hey, he even caught a touchdown. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah, you're right.
So, but I was just going to quickly say that with those two guys, you're going to see that for 10 years at least, unless they get injured. I mean, the AFC has some young quarterbacks that are really good.
Mm-hmm.
So
about half a dozen.
That's my only easily. Yeah.
For the most part, it was a good game. The Chargers came out hot. They went for it on 4th down, and credit to them. I mean, that's how they play. I mean, sometimes it's burn them, but they went for it on 4th down, and he threw a touchdown to Keenan Allen. Then they were able to. There was a strip on Joe Burrow. They kicked the field goal that got up 10, and then I believe Joe Burrow threw an interception, and then they threw another touchdown to Keenan Allen. And then he threw a beautiful deep ball to Jalen Guyton. And it looked like this game was over. But credit to the Bengals, they clawed back and made it 24-22. But where the game completely flipped and it switched around was that fumble by Mixon. Then they returned it. It was Hopkins returned it. Like, that was a turning point. And then the finger factor with Joe Burrow, whatnot, like that. I don't know if that really called it. He made some good throws afterwards, but that was the turning point, and they never really got back in.
Yep. All right.
I didn't really see how he damaged the finger. Did he hit a helmet? I never saw the replay where he knocked that pinky.
I think it might have been early in the game. I think it might have been on the strip very early in the game, and like he was just playing through it.
On that fumble. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I was just curious.
Pinky dislocation. Yeah, his pinky.
And it again, the good thing for the Bengals are this is like they swept the Steelers.
Yeah.
The way the Ravens are trending,
Yeah,
I feel confident that the Bengals should beat them. And I don't even know with Cleveland. I mean, again, I know we're not the biggest believers in Baker Mayfield, but I still think he's I think he is a good quarterback. Again,
Yeah.
it's kind of like Stetson Bennett. I know I'm kind of harsh, but I still think they're good. I don't think they're bad. But